Yeah. I read a quote this week that I loved, and I don't know if Justin Roiland wrote it or not, but it's from Rick and Morty. But
Mm.
anyway, it's Rick, and he says, "Your boos mean nothing to me. I've heard what you cheer for."
I love that. Your booze mean nothing. That's really great because
Or
the
I've seen what you
affirmation
cheer
of the
for. Yeah.
day, the affirmation of the day is something very similar to that. That's
Oh
great.
yeah. Well, and,
Yeah.
it applied to me as a vegan. I think it's I've seen what you cheer for. Your booze mean nothing to me. I've seen what you cheer for. And a lot of
Yeah.
the time, carnists and non-vegans will come at us and say, "You're doing it wrong. Boo to you, vegans." And I'm like, "Your booze mean nothing to me. I've seen what you cheer for. You cheer for animal abuse. You cheer for bacon. So I don't care. Your booze mean nothing to me."
Yeah, your booze, dude, booze are nothing. I mean nothing. I've seen what you cheer for, you heathens. You
I have a question for you, Sky. Do you think that non-vegans deserve compassion?
ooh, I mean, I guess.
Because this came up on Carnism Debunked this week. Had a quote from Gary Yourofsky saying that they didn't. It was essentially, if
Yeah,
those
I
who
mean,
do violence deserve no compassion, uh, and
I definitely think that I believe that everyone deserves some compassion and grace, but like the idea that if they're currently okay, it depends when. It depends when. So does the person shoving the knife into a pig's throat deserve compassion? No. Does the person who's benighted and ignorant, waiting in line at McDonald's deserve compassion? Maybe. Maybe. Because they don't know what
so
they're doing.
I had a
Jesus
question
on the
about the
cross. Jesus on the cross said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not
Yeah,
what they
and I
do."
think that that's an important idea in Christianity, and here's why. So I looked up this morning what's the distinction between empathy and compassion, and it's a empathy is like understanding how someone else feels and like trying to empathize, right? We all know what that means. And compassion takes empathy a step further and means that not just only are you going to empathize for this person, but you are going to wish them goodwill and you're going to want the best for them, essentially. And I
Mhm.
think that it's important. Empathy is always important. I think I don't have any question about that. That's not what they're saying. But compassion, like I also think compassion is helpful in this situation for even the person who's putting the knife on the throat of the animal. Because yes, I understand how you are, and also I understand that maybe out and we know this about slaughterhouse workers. They have higher rates of domestic violence, they have high rates of suicide and
Yeah.
depression. So my compassionate heart wants to make their lives better, and part of that means that, like, okay, we're going to help you understand why this is not the best thing. We're going to help you get a new job. We're going to help you work your life. And that doesn't mean that that should be vegan's first goal. But I also
Mhm.
think a compassionate vegan is not the one who says, fuck you, fuck your job. A compassionate vegan is like, oh, well, here's a job board. Here's how I found work, And it's just a slight change in our hearts. But I think it helps the movement. And I think more than that, for me personally, at least, it helps me because,
Well,
yeah.
wanting to help is a lot different than like having, I mean, I don't know, man. Wanting to help and finding creative ways to help people out of those situations for the greater good, I understand. But like I'm with vegan Vans here. They've seen if they've watched Dominion and they're still doing it, fuck them. I'm drinking their tears. I don't care. Carnies are the enemy. And I'm it's so often we use the position of the we sympathize with the enemy, and that's often to our detriment. We use their language. We're
Yeah.
using their talking points. It's
Well,
so annoying. We do it all the
here's
time.
here's how I see them. Instead of as the enemy, I see them as pre-allies, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it's like I believe very much in like nature versus nurture. I believe that nurture has a lot to do with it. And when someone has seen the vegan message, they know about the rights violations and they're still not vegan, part of me wants to chalk it up to the idea that they haven't had the same experiences in their life than I have that led me to be a vegan person. And it's the collection of all the different experiences that I've had. And if someone else hasn't had those same experiences, then I have, I like to, because otherwise I'm just going to be like, fuck everybody. And I'm going to start a little utopian commune. But my goal is to actually like change them into allies.
Yeah, I get that.